Hello everyone. Today we're going to go over a brief introduction on thermodynamics. So, thermodynamics essentially is the study of heat energy, alright? So, everything related to heat and its interactions with different systems, that's the study of thermodynamics. Thermodynamics has mainly two laws. The first law of thermodynamics tells you that you can't get something for nothing. So it's pretty much the law of conservation of energy. I think that's what it's called. So the conservation law of energy, right? Which states that it pretty much tells you that you can't create energy. So energy is not created and is not destroyed. It only goes from one form to another, right? So essentially, I'll give you an example right here. Say I have a rock up here, right? This rock has a lot of potential energy at the top because the height right here is very high compared to the ground. Like, let's say that's 10 meters, right? So up here, there's a lot of potential energy, right? A lot of potential right here. Now, when this rock goes down, as it's going down, it's gaining kinetic energy. So more kinetic and lower potential, right? So the lower it is, the higher the kinetic. So you can see here the transmission from the potential energy up there to the kinetic energy. So by by the by by the time we get to this state right here, we have a lot of kinetic energy and less potential energy. So essentially, energy just goes from one form to another form, right? You don't create energy, you don't destroy it. Now, the second law of thermodynamics insists that you cannot pretty much have 100% efficiency like in a system, which pretty much tells us, in other words, that you can't even get all you pay for. So forget about that 100%. Most of our energy systems, let's say gas turbine systems, you're gonna get probably in a turbine itself 86% efficiency, and the entire system maybe 46%. Maybe some systems like geothermal systems are like 5% efficient. So imagine how much we're losing in that system. So that's pretty much the second law of thermodynamics. It all goes back to efficiency. You cannot get 100% efficiency. This is not real. Okay, doesn't exist. Now let's go over some thermodynamic systems. So a thermodynamic system is pretty much an object of study that we care about. So this is our system, right? And this system has something called a boundary around it. So this boundary indicates what is my area of study, what do I care about. And whatever crosses this boundary, whether it's work input, whether it's Q, as if that is pretty much heat output, that's what I care about. It's crossing my boundary. So whenever something is crossing my boundary, I start caring about it, right? It depends on where your boundary is. So let's say there's another system here. If my boundary only takes half of the system, I don't care what happens here. Whether there's Q output, whether there's W, which is work output, I don't care about that. I care about the boundary right here. So we have the boundary, we have the system, and we have the surroundings. The surroundings are pretty much what is affecting our system. Now, some of the thermodynamic systems, we're mainly in two categories, we can say. We have the closed systems, right? Closed systems. Closed systems are essentially like they have constant mass, right? The mass doesn't change. I'll give you an example here of a rigid tank. We have some mass in here, maybe some liquid, right? And this mass right here, m is equal to constant. We don't have anything getting, so this is the boundary right here, right? Nothing is crossing the boundary of mass. Like there's no mass flow out. There's nothing or in. So our mass inside is constant, which renders that being a closed system. So the closed means constant mass right here, right? Now, we also have the other kind of systems, which is pretty much open system, right? Now, an open system tells you that you have constant volume, right? So this is different. Notice this is constant mass, this is constant volume. What do I mean with constant volume? I'll give you an example. So let's say we have a tank here with a flow in and out, right? So the volume in here, V, is equal to constant. So the volume doesn't change. How? Because the mass flow in here, which I'm gonna call M1 dot, so the dot indicates that this is a flow, right? It's not like the M right here. The M right here is just mass. There's no dot in here. So M1 is equal to M2. So this is state 2, this is state 1. So as long as M1 is equal to M2, the volume in here is constant. We are not changing anything. The amount that is coming in is the amount that is going out, which essentially goes back to one of the main equations that I follow. It's pretty much E in is equal to E out. Now we'll go over that in another video. There's a big talk on this. It's pretty much what we call the balance equations. These will make your lives way easier compared to the casual following the first law of thermodynamics and the second law of thermodynamics. You can always do a really quick analysis on any thermodynamic system using the balance equations. This is very important. I consider it very crucial for me in thermodynamics. But that's pretty much it. You figured out what thermodynamics is. What are the main two laws of thermodynamics? One of them is again the law of conservation of energy. The other one is the efficiency. You can never have 100% efficiency system. You're always paying a little extra, so you're not gonna get the full amount of what you're paying, right? And now you figured out that there's closed systems and open systems. We have constant mass for the closed systems, we have constant volume for the open systems. Closed mass means we don't lose any mass. The mass stays inside of our system. It's exactly like in here, constant. And when we have a constant volume, as you saw right here, there's a mass flow, but the volume is constant. It's constant. It's always staying as it is, right? Nothing is changing because our first flow is equal to our second flow. Thank you so much, guys. I hope this is helping you out. Please leave me some feedback in the comments. I will make sure to read everything. I'll try my best to make my videos as much as as good as I can because I'm new to this. Thank you so much, guys. Have a wonderful day.